Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality gaze.
Let's love. This is the end. The end, my friend.
This is the end. I never thought we were going to get here because Poodle has been on a diatribe for 30 minutes of finding the perfect table for his living room.
That is not true. No, it is. I'm not looking for the perfect table. I am looking for a table that only fits like 4 specifics. And there's nothing out there available. And the one that I did want, no one gives a shit about any of this. That I did want, that I liked, it's a piece of shit for $150 from Amazon, or a piece of like corrugated wood from Wayfair, or it's $1,400 from Pottery Barn. There's nothing in the middle. And what I'm looking for, you guys, semi tables. I'm going to regret that.
You're going to regret that.
I'm looking for real wood. I'm looking for real dark wood. I'm looking for a drop leaf table that I can push into the corner, a rectangular drop leaf table.
In a dark stain.
In a dark wood.
Or maybe natural wood, and you could stain it yourself.
It'd have to be natural without any finish on it at all.
Yeah.
But I need a dark wood, and I just need a regular, either square or rectangle table that's not too wide, that I could just push against the table and it folds out.
I tease you only because when we were roommates and you cared less about those kind of things, you teased me relentlessly for wanting things.
You are much more specific than I am. You're a disaster when it comes to wanting things.
Welcome to a grown-up way of buying household things.
Oh, come on.
Poodle used to just be like...
I would love to be grown up like you.
No, I'm saying that before Poodle would be like, I found this dresser. It was like Big Lots. Some guy threw it in the trash and I found it.
But that was my 20s.
I know, but that's when we were roommates.
But you were like that in your 20s because you're so fucking picky about everything.
Well, my mama took me to Mathis Brothers to buy furniture. I knew what to look for.
Also, I kind of know I know what I want now, and I live in a nice apartment, and I only want real wood. And I don't want some like fucking corrugated wood or manufactured wood.
Make a dick joke if you want, y'all. It's in there.
But seriously, I've been looking for about 2 months now.
I said he should hire a hunky carpenter that just comes and makes a table over here.
Well,
and
the
then
thing
maybe
is, he wouldn't leave. I would need him to leave so other people could come visit.
Well, maybe you wouldn't want him to.
A hunky carpenter would kill your game. I'd get tired of him after a week. As Anna from Bling Empire says, ain't no dick that good.
Ain't no dick that good.
But no, and I found one that I liked, and I was like, "Oh, this is it! I found it."
They're not making it until October. Maybe you should just get a card table and just put it up there. We need to move on by that look.
You're the one who brought it up.
I know, but you just looked at me like you're about to choke me.
Well, you brought up the word card table, so I immediately thought when my mother said, "Chamber, go get the card table from downstairs." We got to get it for Christmas dinner.
I hated when my mother made me go
sitting over there with the kids.
Made you go get a shitty table and there was always spiders and dust on it, and then you had to sit at it.
Go get the card table. Ugh.
My mama did too.
And also go down there and get the tablecloth for that. Guess I got to wash that.
Those like square tables, and they had that weird like fake padding on the top.
Yes, terrible.
Yes,
absolutely terrible.
Wow.
Come on, it's with your card tables.
Where are we, y'all? This is 90 Day, the single life.
Is this the end? An existential question
Boy.
to end a season that was thought-provoking?
I thought so. You know why?
I did not mind watching this show. I minded the people. I minded at least 3 of the people who were on it.
I really only minded one, really, and that's Big Ed. But I did like this show because 90 Day is with people that are with someone, and we see that. But this was interesting to see how I think when we're dating people for the first time, that's when we can be at our most vulnerable and our most.
I think this is a pretty shitty version of dating. If this is what dating in the U.S. is like in 2021, I want none of it.
Well, through the reality lens. But yes, this is season 1, episode 23.
Which is, the show's not that long, you guys, because they alternate with Pillow Talk. So we're probably had about 11 or 12 episodes.
Yeah.
So this is probably like episode 12, I think.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who cares?
We are going to have a tell-all next week.
And the tell-all looks
incredible.
Juicy couture.
It looks so great.
Yeah. Everyone, they're bringing back Luis from Molly, y'all. Probably has a secret or something.
When they said Luis, I went, gung.
Yeah. And I can't believe that Kelly's still there.
Someone, I know.
That Kelly, we'll talk about that.
Someone sent me sent us a picture and said that Mohammed looks like Gary Oldman. And what is that?
The Fifth Element?
And the Fifth Element with his hair. And he really does.
He does look like him.
Someone needs to fix Mohammed's hair.
Going through some image issues
he
right
does,
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying lots of things. But it's usually he's in a tent somewhere.
Yes. Yes. He's driving down the highway. All right, Poodle, do you just want to get it over with?
Yeah. We're gonna just plow through Big Ed, which I'd like to do with a big truck.
Gong, gong.
Just splat.
Looks like one of his stickers.
I would like exactly. This is thankfully the end of hopefully any time, maybe except for the tell-all, where we have to talk about Big Ed at all.
He'll be back on another show.
God,
they like him.
Really?
You can tell they like him. He's going to be back. They like him. The producers.
Don't
he probably gets on the crew.
People get it though?
No, they're going to have him back. I guarantee you. I don't think they should, but they will.
I guess they did invite Chantal's family back for like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Because I guess producers say, people will watch anything.
I will say.
People will watch a man doing laundry.
If there ever is a...
Getting out stains.
It's true. The laundry guy is wonderful on Discovery Plus.
How many... Have you watched more than one episode?
2. I watched 2, yeah. I'm telling you,
Come on.
It's just like there's something zen about it, and he's like gay Santa Claus. There's just something kind of wonderful about him. It's just a very calming. I watched the 2nd episode last night. He's just, it's like a relaxation for your brain.
I guess, but don't we need things to be stimulating for television? I guess we don't.
Think about what we just watched.
No, this was very stimulating for me.
Well,
these shows provoke things.
But,
But maybe some television. I'm not interested in that kind of television. I understand.
No, it's for me, that's like probably the way you think of like Selling Sunset, which is like such...
That's also provoking for me.
But it's also, you've said this, it's so fake reality and so scripted. It kind of, you've said your own words, it means nothing.
Yeah.
You said that. And so I can see how like people watch that and housewives shows and
I think
turn off.
For me, that kind of television is kind of like when I watch Van Helsing, which is horror that is just kind of dumb. Yeah. But I love the way it's going to turn out. The laundry guy would put me to sleep. I just know it. And maybe that's what it's supposed to do.
Maybe that's what it's supposed to do, yeah.
There's going to be just a television of some like British grandmother telling stories and people watch it to go to sleep.
There already is.
Netflix is making that.
No, there already is. It's like those some of the biggest podcasts are people reading people bedtime stories to go to sleep. That because we're overstimulated.
We're all so broken.
We're all overstimulated.
All so broken.
Yes, we can't sit with our
I'm
thoughts.
broken. You're broken.
Your mom's broken. Your sister's broken.
Y'all, you're better off if you just admit it and move on.
So anyway, y'all.
So speaking of someone broken, Big Ed.
I don't think we have any. Remind people, our first 2 episodes of Extreme Sisters have dropped on the free feed. Check them out if you want. You can try just the tip, and if you want the whole shebang, you can just jump on our $8 tier at the Patreon or the Supercast.
If you have any kind of standards about what you think is decent or nice and good in this world, Extreme Sisters isn't going to do it for you. It's foul. It's absolutely foul.
Love it.
That's because you have some type of trauma that you're still working on.
Maybe. I think the reason why I love those shows because it's so not even in Single Life. Some of these characters, I'm like, oh, I relate to that. It's like this and Smothered. I relate to nothing. That has ever happened to us. So it's like going into outer space and seeing a whole new world I never knew existed.
But an outer space of pain.
Well, on a burning space shuttle flying towards Mars.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I'm saying it's interesting how people in this universe are divided between people who kind of feel like I do, who can't watch it. Mm-hmm. I can watch it. I can get past a lot of it. Can't get past the Australian twins. That's what is hard.
It's gonna be rough when they start trying to get pregnant. It's gonna be rough for you.
I'm gonna take my bye. I'm gonna tap out.
But then
on that episode,
you can only do that once.
Anyway, Big Ed, y'all, says, I've never loved anyone the way I love Liz. Again, grand pronouncements. Ed loves a good grand gesture.
They've been together 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months. That's 4 weeks.
Right. And
that's a collective total of about
2 months is 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I said. 8 weeks, 60 days, 1,400 minutes. I don't know minutes.
You're not good at math.
It's not a long time.
He says,
"Hey Siri, how many minutes are in a month?" Siri's not listening.
Shouldn't you go towards hours first?
Who knows?
525,600 minutes.
We've already made fun of Rent, and people then shaded us for singing it too much.
I know. I can sing whatever the fuck I want.
Big Ed.
So he says, I don't know why, but Liz is starting to pull back from me. I know. Because she's gotten a whiff of you after 2 months. She knows who you are. And she's feeling controlled by you.
And he's like, he's just so busy. And it shows his mom saying, how's Liz? And she says, well, if she was in love with you, then she would be with you.
This may be part of the problem. This idea if the mom says, but if they love you, nothing is too great. This fairy tale thing of love. Here's the thing, you guys. She's got a daughter. She's going to support a daughter on a server's salary. So she's going to work a lot.
She's going to work a lot. It's also a bit of, it's not so much what his mom said, but it's how you hear things. Because it's interesting, you just said that, and I went, oh yeah, he probably heard it that way. Whereas when I heard it, when his mom said, if she loved you, she would be with you, I heard, she's just not that, she's not as much into you as you are.
Oh, no.
But I just made me realize Ed would never hear that.
No.
He would never hear that.
No. Wow. I heard her.
Not gonna go good.
I heard her, and this is not. And
I heard her.
I heard her. I heard her. What did I say the other day? And I said that's definitely a Rodney word. I can't remember what it was. But I wanted to. No, it was
with the guy.
Someone said some. I know what it was. There was some. Someone was talking about dinosaurs or something, and they're like, blah, 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 like a megalodon. I went, megalodon. Megalodon.
I'm already sad about Brittany and Brittany for Smothered that's coming up into this, that they're not in the Smothered, although this season's supposed to be great. But if Rodney is not back on Marrying Millions...
I'm not watching. I'm not watching.
Really?
They'll have to get someone really good.
They will have to get someone really good.
Now that Rick's not going to be on it anymore either, unless it's a new Chippy he can find.
Those were kind of our two favorites.
Yeah, I don't want to watch just for Bree and Bill.
They're my least favorite.
And I kind of don't want to give. I don't give a shit about Reese and Noni anymore either. Because
I mean, they're sweet, but they're normal-ish.
And I only want to see Donovan and what's her name. Because I only want to see Donovan be in gay porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do a whole new set of couples.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so.
Can we? You are waylaying the shit out of me.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so that's what his mom says, and basically,
Liz says she struggles with. No, he says before I say that, he says she of course he diagnoses her and saying, well, the problem is what she thinks is because he's great at telling Liz what she thinks.
He's very good at it.
And if you couldn't tell the sarcasm dripping from my voice, his first priority, her first priority is her daughter. Her second is her job. Her third is her friends, which is really what pisses him off. And the fourth is him. And so he kind of wants to be right there, but like right there below her daughter in a priority system. But and this is also what's a little bit creepy to me, you guys.
2 months again. I'm gonna say 2 months.
Thank you. It's good to remind us.
4 weeks.
8 weeks.
That's what I said. So I get it. If you're with somebody, like, once you start getting to like maybe 4, 5, 6 months of dating, that starts to get into a little bit of like, hey, I don't want to be a number one priority, but I'd like for us to maybe spend time 2 or 3 times a week, maybe.
I don't think I think it's really unhealthy saying things like your third priority is your friends. I want to be above that. I think it's okay saying, can't I be on an entirely different metric? I don't have to be prioritized in some type of first, second, third, fourth way. Can we talk about how we see each other?
Also, it's really, but you're remembering you're thinking about this the way you would, kind of like I was earlier.
I'm being rational.
Because I'm going to say, if we talk about Ed's priorities, this is someone who prioritizes all of his relationships over his own daughter.
His children, and probably his mother.
Maybe
not that.
I don't know if he would his mom. I don't think he would do that. But we've seen him do this over his daughter.
Right.
So it makes sense for Liz to be just like, hey, you're number one.
So she says, in her confessional, she's like, I just got to be honest. I'm struggling with the age difference because it's a thing. And she says, I just want to be happy. So they're going for their date, you guys. And she's just basically sleepwalking through this.
Awkward car. They're like driving. And
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, they're driving and he's, and she's like, so how was your day? And they're just talking about his day. And he's like, so with my mom, we talked about you. Because I want it to work. When we're together, it's pretty awesome. And
so, right.
Love me. And then he says, wait, are we going to fight? And the look she gives him, that's the real Liz.
Well, the thing is,
she gave him a
totally
look
agree.
of, I want to fucking drive off this road and burn you in the car.
I totally agree. And I need to say something. And I've come to the conclusion, I knew it last episode, but I did not want to speculate further so I could make the thing. Liz never loved Big Ed.
No.
Liz doesn't love Big Ed. Liz did this for the clout. Liz did this for the stability. Liz did this for the money. I can't fault her. This is what she thought she needed to do.
I do think she has big time trauma, and Ed played into that.
I agree.
But I think,
deep down, she did it for the money. She did it for the show.
Yeah, I think she did it for the show.
I did it all for the nookie. The nookie. And you can take my cookie.
Is that a song?
Yeah, Limp Bizkit, Nookie.
I don't know Limp Bizkit. Don't they yell when they sing? I don't like that type of music. Y'all, I don't.
That is culture. You need to know culture.
I know it, but I don't like it. I don't like to be yelled at. I don't like to walk into Gold's gym and hear, "Oh, I'm so Tom. Sorry,
But this also
not for me.
That was literally like 2004.
I
or maybe before.
I just there's a part of me that feels like if someone tells me they like that music, they're gonna splay me and eat my skin.
I think that's a big judgment about people who
I'm
are
gonna say
like,
that is a huge judgment, and that is how I feel because that's
some
how
of
that
our
music
listeners really like that music.
and come for me. I'm just saying you can come for me. And,
I did not like it either, but I'm perfectly fine with people
and
liking
I will be
it.
scared of you. I'm just saying.
I love certain things you try to stay so non-judgmental about, and then certain things you cannot help yourself.
No, I am
you
about that.
jump in there.
Sorry, that it's like it's a
I'm sorry to offend your sensibilities.
maybe I don't know. Maybe I was killed in a mosh pit in a past life, but I can't.
So, like I said before, she's using him. He's using her. And so my sympathy for her, we're going to see her on the tell-all, probably actor face-off. But I think this is all a farce.
I'm more 80-20 of 80 it is, but 20%.
I was 80-20 the whole season, but now I'm certain.
I think she's pretty broken. I think she's had a lot of shit in her life.
Can it be both then?
Yeah, but I think I think it is both. That's why I was saying it. But I'm saying I'm not 100% though. It's just to be on TV. I wasn't disagreeing with you. I was just kind of saying what I thought of it. So not 100%. I think that she wants to be on TV. I think I don't know if she loves Ed, but I think what we talked about before, I think she feels sorry for him. She's sympathetic to him.
Yeah,
and he plays on that.
Kind of let herself to like, sure, I'll play along with the TV story. I'll play along with what the producers are saying.
Exactly. And so Ed already, they're sitting in, they're having this dinner,
and of course he's checked. They have Malbec, so don't worry. He's going to ply her with wine, y'all. Don't worry.
It looked like she was drinking water, but I guess it was a white wine. But so
gross.
They're sitting there, and he's like, "So I want a commitment from you," which is what he has kept. It literally is this.
He just wants. He's a vampire. He's going to keep sucking the life out of her.
But it'll never stop. And she kind of responds like, she says, "I do miss you." And this is where the 20 part that comes in, that she's not able to stand up and set her own boundary.
Yeah.
She's like, "We need to fix this and get back on the same page." And then she says, "I miss telling you about my days, and I feel lost when I don't talk to you. I do love you, but you're a lot to handle." What I take from that, the 20% is she wants a male friend and someone she feels like she can talk to.
and someone who'll protect her.
And someone who will protect her, but she doesn't need to fuck them and be in a relationship with
Amen.
them. She wants she needs like a good like gay friend or something.
Yeah.
Instead, she's found this in Ed, who is older. She recognizes and feels awkward about the age difference. And I bet you she probably feels some guilt because Ed probably feels some type of daddy thing she has too. And a part of her likes that.
You are reading her for filth, but it's accurate.
Well, I have a degree. And so I'm telling you, I think that that's a little bit of it, but I totally agree with you that it's more that she's a single mom who's waiting tables, and she's like, I need to get on this show so I can do Instagram ads and make money from being on TV.
Yep.
And you know what? I probably would do the same fucking thing.
Not with Big Ed.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No.
What gay
Devar.
What gay? Come on.
That's
some like a gay version of Big Ed, like a gay David of David and Lana. Would you do it?
Who's that?
Or I'm trying to think, because Big Ed is Big Ed. He's disgusting. The thing about it is, you guys,
it's different when you're a guy. Because we talked about role reversals.
Yeah.
If a guy was Liz, we would read the shit out of that man and say he's a piece of shit for using this woman and even as a gay guy, I think I would be hesitant actually to do that because people would read me for filth online and
I agree.
hate me.
I agree. it's a little bit of the reversal here is a little bit of Stephanie, although she's much worse than Big Ed is in the financial abuser way. But Big Ed, in a way though, Big Ed psychologically is a lot worse. What he's doing to women who he dates, like Rose and Liz.
And it's just such a juxtaposition. She says, I'm 100% scared of commitment, but he has a big heart. He doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a big heart.
He doesn't. He has a very selfish heart.
Thank you. He's telling
Thank
her.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, chicken. I love
now
some
I want
thank
Zanku
you,
chicken.
Ow! I just screamed into the mic because you pinched me.
Well,
I love Zanku chicken. Yo, that's what we have in.
Focus.
How dare you say focus when you just said? I won't do it. One of my favorite lines of this episode, and I laughed, were, Liz, you were born the same week my divorce was finalized. You're here for a reason. How?
Her face, that is where actually I went, she wants to be on TV.
Yeah, that was it for me too.
You see her face,
kind of
and
like
she goes, "You're crazy." I know. You actually see her think that, and the fact that Ed reasons that's what Liz is in his life shows the level of desperation and anxiety
narcissism
that Ed, but this anxious fear of whatever that
the universe has to be in on their love story.
Death, really, I think. It's just all a fear
it's
of
all,
death.
It's all mortality.
It's all this Freud shit. And it's so, when he said that, I went, wow, you're more fucked up than I thought.
Oh.
And I was there.
Oh,
But like, didn't that surprise you even that he said that?
No, nothing surprises me about him. It was one of the best lines of the show. It completely goes along with who he is, because he's trying to make her think like something is written in the stars, because Ed thinks that everything is a fairy tale and he's the prince and no one can see what a good guy I am. I guess since my condition, no one will take another look at me. But once they get down to me, there's this beautiful heart. I've got so much heart for you and so much love to give. Garbage. You're a taker. You're a fucking vampire.
If Ed looked like fucking Jeffrey,
it wouldn't
Pedro,
matter.
Mohammed,
he'd still be the same piece of shit.
No, but I'm saying everybody would see him for who he was immediately.
In a second. In a second. I've said that all along.
He said, though, tonight, though, I learned Liz loves me. Y'all have already said that like 4 fucking times. But then he said, and now I just need to know that she wants to have a future with me forever.
Again,
and he said
more.
Since like the first week.
And he almost wants this uncompromising fealty to him. He wants a wife to say, I want to be with you forever, Ed. You're my world.
You're my world.
You're my...
Nothing else matters but you.
Right.
And honestly, I love you more than I even love my own kid.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
That. He won't ever admit that, but a part of him wants. But you know what? They're going to go to the beach, and it can't get worse, right? Can it, Poodle?
My favorite is when he says, I still have this thing in my head that I need answers. I still need more from her. And I'm like, you're going to need more until she has no more will to be.
Yes.
You need her to be with you all the time.
The Virgin Mary could come down from the heavens and give him her tit for him to suckle from, and he would still say, I'm thirsty.
Yeah, or Virgin Mary, you got something else hanging out there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I need to ask you one more thing.
Yeah, one more thing. So it's been 3 weeks since they had this dinner, and they're at the beach. And
I bought her a new hot swimsuit.
It's good. Liz says that he says Liz is making more of a priority. She's hanging out with him more. She's been staying over there like 3 or 4 nights.
And you know what? It's great. So he's not going to ask for anything else, right?
No,
because we're great where we are.
We're great.
We're
so
great
we're
where
calm.
we are. We're great.
So
we're great.
So suddenly he's sitting there, and they're sitting there, and he suddenly says,
"But we're not great.
Are we in a good place?" And I went, "Oh fuck." Oh fuck.
No, that was when I just start laughing because this is all turning into parody.
It's parody at
That
this
was
point.
when I said, okay, every bit that's in me that is trying to feel empathy for Liz is done. No,
She knows now.
She knows now.
I mean,
she's known for 3 episodes. It's now very obvious.
and maybe she didn't, but I bet watching this she went.
Oh yeah.
Because I think, y'all, we don't know for sure, but I think by the Instagram post, I am shocked that if they're still together.
They're not.
Oh, they're not. Oh, wait,
They're not.
We did know, yeah.
They're not. Wait, you thought, oh, they're definitely still together.
No,
Even from what we saw on
I forgot, because isn't it confirmed they're
Yeah.
not together? Yeah. Sorry, spoiler alert. But he says, are we in a good place? And she says, listen to what people are telling you. She says, slowly but surely. Slowly but surely.
You've already bulldozed through every boundary she had. You've already pushed your way into her life more than anybody else. So you already make her feel not comfortable all the time you do this.
All the time.
But you're oblivious to it. So why not ask her to move into your house?
But I bet when other shit hits in the fan in her life, Ed's great at comforting her about other people, other things, and that's where she gets that comfort from.
Yeah.
But yes, so he wants his home to be her home. And again, she says, and again, this is where I was kind of like, Liz, you know better. She says, that's another fast move. When are you going to slow it down? Honey,
Listen to her, you piece of shit.
Or Liz, listen to your own words, Liz.
Well,
listen to your own words. He will never slow down.
And I want to take a moment, and I know there are some people who don't have that gut feeling about people, but if you had listened to Big Ed talk, even on his first season with Rose, I think you realized he was a piece of shit probably by the second episode. You kind of liked him. I think you were more sympathetic to him than I was. But
the first episode, definitely, he was like, oh, he seems fun. He loves his mom. He's got a cute dog.
It all felt too much for me.
But then it was quick. It was like the second or third episode. I went, this guy's gross.
Well, and even more than that, y'all, if people are trying too hard, if people are coming on too strong,
there's a reason.
Your gut is telling you something.
And there's a reason that they're coming on too strong.
Exactly. And just remember that if you feel like your boundaries, even on television, Big Ed felt like he was testing my boundaries of even watching him.
It's a difference like you see him versus someone who I think is trying to manage a relationship well, like Terence from Michigan, who's like way more realistic about shit.
We're going to talk about him too, but yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah, well, in a way, they're two sides of the same coin because he was trying to get a commitment from her, and 3 dates in. No, he said, what do you think about fidelity and staying together?
He did.
We'll talk about it.
But yeah, that's true.
We'll talk about it.
I'm excited.
I'm not saying he's nowhere near Big Ed level.
No.
I think also he did feel his pride was hurt from being ghosted, and so he didn't want that to happen again.
But it's a whole different thing, though, of why he would want that. Where Ed needs things out of neediness.
Right.
He might want something because Brittany's fucking ghosted him and dangled him like shit.
And I think Terence was talking about we need trust, and at the same moment you're saying, and Brittany's already told you her trust issues with men. So to me, it seems like why don't we, instead of us trying to make a commitment to one another, why don't we try to do long distance for a while so we can be more comfortable with your boundaries instead of making her be faithful to him? Do you see what I'm saying? Or insisting upon her faithfulness.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Okay. You brought it up, which is why I was digging.
No, I mean I talk about it. Yeah. No, I want to talk about it more, but we've got to get Ed out of our mouths. Many people have said.
I want you out of my mouth and out of my consciousness, Ed. So I
want to make a room for your daughter.
Oh,
suddenly
gross.
Now he's talking about her kid. Suddenly now he cares, and he
wants to get a bigger house because his lease is up in 6 months. You're right. He does not own his house. He wants to get for listen. we can get a house with my mom and you and your daughter and Teddy, and we can become our own little family.
A matchbox of our own. Somewhere that's great.
Oh, gross.
Somewhere that's gross. Gross.
So
I shouldn't
that song
sing
is
that
too-
song with him.
my stomach dropped when you did that.
But you know what? There is another song that Ed wanted us to sing. You light up my life. He literally said, you light up my world.
He did say that. They're all, and you guys, with someone like Ed who says big grand things, after a while, nothing means anything.
But
He will think they mean something, but they really don't mean anything
And
to him.
guess what?
They're empty.
if they got together, because we'll finish this, but Liz says, you just love to push me and try to make changes so fast, and that's not fair. So, Liz, listen to yourself. You just said this, and then she follows
But
it
I will
with,
move in with you.
But yes.
That was when I went, I'm out.
And
Tap out.
I have to say, like,
I'm done.
you know better, Liz.
Yep.
You know
I'm
better
done.
than this, and you're doing it anyway. And then guess what? Ed,
He's got the ring picked out.
she's going to be so excited.
What's next? Picking out their funeral plots together?
Yeah, what?
That's after they get
Being
married.
flown into space.
Yes.
What? So we know they're not together. If they did get together, this is what would happen, y'all. They would get together. They would get married. She's younger. We would get probably what we're getting with Molly and them. She would want a kid. Ed wouldn't want a kid.
Yep.
Because he doesn't want to do that anymore.
Yep.
Because he just wants to think about him. They would be together. Shocker. Ed cheats on her with another woman.
Dead on.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Oh, Ed is done, y'all. Ed is done. We have to talk about it on the tell, but that's it.
But the tell-all's going to be better because people are telling him to fuck off.
I can't wait.
Like
Even
when-
Debbie.
When Molly was like, come on, Ed. Or what'd she say?
Something like that.
Oh, I love Molly.
I just want him. Just go away.
Go away.
I think we should move on to Brittany. However, we should take a commercial. We need to talk about Brittany.
Did you find your coasters yet, Poodle?
No,
Okay, just checking.
they're packed.
Just checking.
Thank you for your judgment, though.
When's the merch coming out?
Next week.
We're all waiting. New merch.
I won't be bullied.
Let's talk about Brittany.
She's getting in an Uber, and she is meeting Terence for lunch. You know,
I love that name, Terence.
the guy who she didn't really vibe with, who she thought was too young for her.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went back and watched because I thought I might be. She's like, I don't know, but I'm really excited for Justin, who only wanted to get inside her magic box.
In her words, yes.
And so she says, I think Terence has husband qualities. 2 dates. We've been on 2 dates.
Because Justin, she knew for
Yes.
a while, but and maybe since she watched before, how long have her and Terence known each other?
I don't know if they've known each other that long, but they've still been on 2 dates.
Because I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe they've been talking longer.
I feel like they've been talking for a while, and I kind of was assuming that knowledge as I watched all this play out.
Yeah.
But now you're
But
making me question that. I don't know.
She'd been talking to Justin for a very long time too.
Yeah. Is Poodle Brittany?
I like to think I have a little better decision making. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
So this is interesting.
They're
going
going to go meet for lunch. He agreed to meet with her.
because she basically says she ghosted him, and he comes up and says, "No, you don't get a hug."
Yep.
Which I guess good for him for stating boundaries. My thing was, though, maybe this could have been handled. Maybe instead of being so standoffish, this could have been handled on the phone when you talk to him, when you talk to her. So he
Yeah.
could have broached in other words, it wouldn't be just meeting, because it sounds like two things are possible here. Either he's thinking he might walk away as soon as she shows up, or he's thinking he's going to leave, or it's already been decided that they're going to have a date, and he's doing that just for the cameras.
Possibly, but Brittany also seems like the type that wouldn't want to talk about it over phone and would want to talk in person.
I guess.
She seems like that.
But she talks about everything on the phone and online.
But no, I could, like, texting is very different than calling someone on the phone.
I'm aware of that. I'm just saying their whole relationship has been that.
But since she feels like she fucked up, I could see her being like, let's meet in person. Because you think about it.
I guess.
Think about it. If you're a poodle de boudreau, 26 years old, and you fucked up in a man's pants you want to get into, what would you do? Show up at a restaurant and look hot.
Text him at 11:30 at night.
Gay men are sluts.
So,
but no, I do think she wanted to show up, look pretty. She wanted him to see her because she feels like it would be harder for him to say no.
I get it. I'm coming at it from his perspective.
No, and I'm coming at it from hers. She was like, but I want him to see me.
So why would he say no, you don't get a hug?
Oh, why would he say no? Because he had hurt feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I guess I'm trying to think, if I was already so pissed off, I just wouldn't agree.
I mean, I think you and I are cut from a little bit of the same cloth, and then if you're wrong, Poodle and I, we burn the bridge.
I just won't do it.
Yeah, we won't do it.
So he, I wrote down, he did say, but I'm going to be the bigger person here. How brave. So he does have this enormous necklace that has TR and fake diamonds around his neck. So he says, I haven't heard from you in 2 weeks.
I kind of think you could wear a necklace with a big P on it and it would be okay.
I think I'd be okay with it.
I think so,
I
too.
think I'd wear it in like a sweatsuit.
Yeah, you would.
That'd be very me.
Mm-hmm. You have told me that you would like all of your clothes to have a P on them, like Laverne from
like Laverne and Shirley.
You have said that.
We could have an M and a P.
I don't need the M, but you've wanted the
with
P.
a Peter Pan collar. So anyway, he says, I haven't heard from you for 2 weeks, and I need to say, and she said back, she said, I was kind of like, I was fearful, and I was not feeling good about myself. I was going through some other stuff. I need to defend Brittany here. I actually can kind of understand. I can actually understand her ghosting him, not calling him, because it might have been too much and too overwhelming. Then, especially if she was really rethinking a lot of stuff with guys, her relationship. So I kind of understand it. But she says to him, there's a lot you don't know about my life, which means I hope maybe the cameras caught it and we didn't see it. That's when I was be Terence and say, tell me about it. We get nothing.
Yeah. Well, was it with him where she said she didn't want to, in a previous episode where she said she doesn't like to talk about that? I know she said that off like to the cameras in testimonials. She'll bring up her ex-husband and she'll say, I don't really like to talk about that. So I don't know. Again, we don't know what we saw. I don't know if that's him or if that's been her reluctance. She has said several times, she said this in her Yazan season 2, of I don't want to talk about that.
Right. But,
like Yazan didn't even know about that.
But it's kind of like if you keep bringing it up and saying, this is the reason that I don't want to let anyone
then you
close
let
to
somebody
me.
know. I agree with you.
And maybe it's that she doesn't feel comfortable talking about it on camera. Then stop bringing it up on camera.
And stop bringing it up on camera. I agree. I totally agree.
It's very frustrating.
It's also this idea of, I don't mean to sound patronizing.
No,
but,
I know what you're going to say.
But they're both young.
Yeah.
And I think Terence thinks like a normal straight guy probably would, but honestly, I think like a lot of us would actually. The reason Brittany didn't call had something to do with him.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with him.
Right.
And Brittany explained that well, had nothing to do with him. He didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't right. All of that is it's her own shit. You don't understand that very well when you're in your 20s.
I agree.
You think even when people tell you that, you think in your head, well, they're lying. It's got to be something about me.
And we she keeps saying, she says, I'm not used to sharing this trauma and being vulnerable. You didn't share anything. You haven't been vulnerable at all.
She hasn't been vulnerable at all. And she says, I've had a lot of healing to do. And I went, if you have a lot of healing to do,
you don't need to be dating Terence.
You don't need to be dating anyone.
This was so frustrating for me.
I feel like Brittany is saying memes that she's read.
Yes.
That things that she thinks she needs to be saying to get
on
over
Instagram.
This. But
yeah.
she's never, it's the difference of like her versus Fernanda, who went to a therapist.
Yeah, who did the work.
And got terminology that's specific to her and not what she read online.
And I think we're not saying that everyone needs to go to therapy. I think you can even
I am.
I don't want to say that because it's not for everyone.
I'm kidding. It's not for. I'm kidding. It's not for everyone. I just said that to make your eyes pop out of your head for you to look.
No,
at me.
I was just going to say I don't want to say that because it's not for everyone.
No, it is not for everyone.
But you do have to acknowledge your past and the fact that it's one thing.
The past is the past.
Oprah
Oprah didn't do therapy. She's never been to a therapist.
Well, but I'm saying is Oprah's always your example for everything.
She is.
Someone was brainwashed as a child.
Yes. But the reason I use that example, I think what you're going to say is you don't have to go to therapy, but you need to do self-work and you need to do processing.
Have an open mind about how to approach things. Tell someone about your past.
Yeah.
Or, because that's what I think I said before in the last episode, I don't know if she has a very wide circle of people she trusts with very intense things.
And
please don't knock over my
almost knocked over your lamp. And again, I want to take into fact, and I understand that just Brittany comes from a culture, Black culture in the United States doesn't talk a lot about their feelings. They don't, so there's that component as well. So I'm not saying it's just a simple thing for her to do.
Yeah.
But it's, because she probably, I bet, has potentially opened up about her toxic past that she's had in her relationships. And some people have probably comforted her, and I bet she's had some people that have probably said, somebody else has it worse, get over it.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a whole, so whatever it is, but the point of what you're saying, we don't fucking know.
We don't know any of it.
We don't know any of it.
And just throw us a bone here.
Because what if she pulled out some Mike shit of I was abducted by aliens? And then you go, then Terence can go, okay.
Yeah.
That was clear.
It is kind of a little bit, and then he basically says later on, they of course go back to his Airbnb to bang, and then she stays. Now this is like midday, so they obviously spend the whole evening
together,
and that night
and fucking till he died,
fucking and smucking.
He was
churning and chucking
and yearning
and burning and burning till he died.
Butter.
Parquet.
You just got that out of your head, dude.
I did, yeah. So I can't focus now. He's going back to Detroit tomorrow.
He is.
And he kind of says, he said, I've forgiven you. This is when it gets a little weird to me, and where it sounded like he was trying to get her to make a commitment to him. It's like, you can't do that anymore. So when I go back, we're going to be, he says, when I go back, are we going to be together?
Is this
after 2 days?
Was this after they talked about the sex or before?
Before.
Okay, before. Yes.
It felt like, because to me, and maybe this is incorrect, maybe this is my own shit, it felt like to me that because she had ghosted him for 2 weeks, she was going to now have to make it up to him for doing that.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's make it up to me, but also he's scared because he does seem to like her, and he spends this fast and furious time with her, and then he's going to go to Detroit and pin drop, not hear a word.
And you know what? I think that's very real.
Because Terence seems like a fine guy. He seems like Brittany said nice things about him. And but he's Brittany is, I don't know. Brittany is a complicated person.
Cyrell is a complicated person.
Cyrell is a complicated person. Wow, that was a throwback.
Which means she's an asshole, as I said before.
Terence is not. It doesn't seem to be.
No.
And I don't mean like an intelligence.
No,
he seems smart. But
what you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get with Terence. Brittany, you don't. You don't know what is kind of all going on.
And that is why I don't think she should be dating right now.
It is. Because like when I was dating, if I met people like Brittany, as soon as I got that vibe, I was like, I don't want to know. Some people in this room would have been attracted to that in their 20s. I mean,
I don't know who that is.
If I had
is there a rat in your pocket?
if I had a condom for every time I heard Poodle say he's just so complicated, I loved complicated guys. I'd have about enough condoms to fill up a bowl at Rage. In the front entrance.
I love brooding boys because I thought they were complicated. And I thought they were intense.
So okay, and I have a legitimate question to ask you. When you were in that guys are complicated phase, because I never really was interested in that.
Yeah.
What do you think about that when someone was complicating, you couldn't figure them out? What was attractive to them to you, and what in you felt like that this would be a good fit?
That I could fix them.
Ah, okay. So
yeah.
And so do you? And
or they're not. It's like when the meme of she's not like the other girls. They're not like other boys.
I can see that in Terence.
They're not like other boys. They're not. They're a little quirky.
Like a uniqueness.
They're unique. This is my unique, so
this is my
Enneagram 3, Enneagram 4.
But is it like if you're with someone unique, then that makes you special because you're with them?
Yes.
You Poodle, you were special on your own. Wait, that sounded like a read.
It did,
but I meant it as a compliment.
But I think also I was drawn to people who were different.
But I think Terence is that type. Now that you've said that way, I kind of understand them more.
But I kind of think Brittany is she's trying to seem like she's different, but I think she's the most common type of person. She's just basic.
I think
masquerading
so too.
is interesting,
but that's the complication of hers.
Exactly.
I mean, I am so glad I found somebody really before social media, because I would never date anybody who is popular, I think, on social media, because that would be a lot to deal with.
It'd be hard. Yeah. Because
you would always ask yourself, but I saw you on this and you were this way. And if you're not that person in real life.
Thanks for having that luck for my glad thing I'm not popular on social media. Good thing. Let's move on.
You're going to die alone.
I mean, you're just so alone. I mean, I have someone.
Anyway, y'all. So they do love it. He was like, how's the sex? And I kind of love Brittany was like, this is a Poodle move.
She's like, Now, I will say, that's not something you give away. You're like, I had fun. And first of all, no one asks. You say, first of all, you compliment the other person first.
Okay, yes.
You don't say, how was the sex?
Teach us, oh slutty one.
Well, no, you say, that was good.
Yeah.
And then if the other person's like, if you're kind of joking, you're like, you can do that. But to say, how was the sex we just had? Could you tell me in a few words?
I think that's Terence. He's just like, he's very, I agree with that. That's not something you do.
Well, it's also fishing for a compliment, because no one asks that expecting to say, solid 3. No one wants to, he wants to hear fabulous. You're the best. You're the biggest I've ever had.
Like Darcy. Can't get enough. Oh, what did she say? She looked down at him and she was like, can't get enough.
It's got a lot of there.
A lot there. Y'all, I love Darcy, but when she looked down at Georgie's dick and said she couldn't get enough, that's where I realized I will love her forever.
We are Darcy.
The same. I am. I do relate to Darcy more than anybody on 90 Day Fiancé.
I think she's very relatable.
And I have to say, you are Stacy more than anybody on 90 Day Fiancé. It's kind of kooky.
Yeah, I think I think those two are very relatable.
Ugh, love them.
And so she does say they're sexually compatible. She's like, but I could teach him some things. She's like, that vibrator can do a lot of things. So
for you,
she
Brittany.
says that she's going to come to Detroit next, and that's when he says, I want to be with you. And he's like, again, there's this little, we're going to call in text, right? And I kind of understand why he's saying it, but I'm like, this is someone who's telling you they've had a lot of hang-ups about people controlling them in relationships, maybe soft pedal that. Because there's a difference.
I think he's thinking more about what he
He's
wants.
gonna be hurt.
And not what he's
What she
trying to
needs.
protect himself from being hurt.
Yep.
Also, I wondered, because this is just what I wondered, is this also like, if you're in a straight relationship,
As I wandered out
not
under
Christmas.
the sky.
You said I wonder because I wonder.
is this so they can have sex without a condom? Because when you're monogamously with someone,
Not familiar.
it...
Not familiar.
You know what? Let's move on. Ooh, what was the second thing I want to tell you about my
I need to tell you about my smelly cooter.
What Muhammad
Robert, I need to tell you about my vagina.
Which is what you do on a second date. Y'all, if you
At
told...
the axe throwing place.
If you told someone on your second date that your dick, your ass, or your vajayjay smells, come at us.
Flag on the play.
Let us know. Let us know. I want to know how that went.
So
Carl,
she's...
they want me to tell you about our second date, Carl.
at the church box social.
Could you open up my Lenovo, Carl? I want to get on the web.
Oh,
I'm going to email my gays.
oh my God.
Shooter, go get your daddy. Tell your daddy to stop playing that Nintendo. Please, Shooter.
The Commodore 64.
That Intellivision's Shooter, that's where he is.
She's kind of losing it, you guys. And my students who have autism will often stem like she's
I noticed
doing.
that she's stemming. I did notice
And
that.
I went, wow, she's really in distress.
Yeah, she's like tapping.
Yeah,
that's what stemming
stemming.
is.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if everybody knows that.
Okay. No, that's
yeah.
good for you.
So, yeah, she's like, it's like
Tapping fingers.
it's a calming
nervous
thing.
movements,
Yes.
calming. Yeah.
She's and Robert is just staring, kind of like when I saw the Ardmore Little Theater production of South Pacific, and everybody had painted their skin 3 times darker with self tanner, and they all had orange ankles and orange fingers because they did it the night before. It was kind of like that.
I like it how that's the part you're objecting to, not the fact that they did it at all.
But I remember watching it going, this is wrong.
Not the fact that we shouldn't do South Pacific if we don't have South Asian people or Asian people at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So,
But anyway, Robert's just sitting there. Danielle,
and she's talking to this producer.
and she says, I'm just scared to tell him about my mom because it hurts so
I
bad.
need to get off my chest so he can understand my insecurities.
But I got to give it to Danielle. She does
She
it.
did it.
She goes over there. She sits down and she says, my ex was accusing me of smelling and stuff. And then he said, no other man would want to sleep with me. And Robert just stares at her. And I'm like, is he freaking out? Is he screaming inside?
And years passed before he said anything.
Before he says, what, Poodle?
And he says, he also has the best poker face of all time, by the way. He's like, my ex-wife treated me the same way. And I actually went, I finally breathed.
He said, I understand, yeah.
And then I thought, wait, is he going to tell her he's got a smelly penis? That was my first thought.
If he had said that,
I would have squealed.
My ex-wife said I had a smelly dick. I would have.
And then
I wouldn't have recovered.
Then I would have said fairy tales are real.
I would not have recovered.
That there really is someone out there for someone. Mickey Mouse was right.
But he said she always told me I was too big or whatever. I had bad self-esteem issues.
And she's like, well, I also have self-esteem issues. So plus the cooter thing.
I got this lazy eye. and my hair just won't work well. They have to put extensions in me, but then it looks kind of pretty.
I got a limp in my
and
left
also
leg.
that lip and my varicose veins are out of control right now. But other than that, I feel good.
How much time you got?
How much time you got? And then Robert says, you want someone who supports you and makes you a better person. That's what I'm looking person. That's what I'm looking for. And I wrote, marry this man.
I thought
Danielle.
the same thing. I said,
marry this man.
This has been for you in your entire time with 90 Day Fiance, in your association with him. This has been the best moment in your life.
I
savor this.
Got a little teary, like emotional.
I'm so happy for her. I can't believe I'm saying that. She's happy.
She deserves this.
Her dog is going to the dog's going to put her face on her smelly cooter tonight.
He said he's a slower person, and Danielle says, I'm that way too.
And guess what? She got a kiss. Not one, but two, y'all.
2 kisses. And
I'm so happy for her.
Robert says we all have baggage, but there is no baggage that's going to stop you from seeing someone you care about. And I went, what the hell?
He was on the tell-all, so we don't know. We did get a sneak peek. He is on the tell-all, so maybe they're still seeing each other. I really hope so.
I was screaming for her at this moment when he kissed her. I screamed, and then he said, and then you can tell even his own. I went, we've never seen a guy be insecure with Danielle. Because did you notice how he asked her 3 times, so do you want to go out again?
Yes.
He needed that validation 3 times.
I love
Danielle,
him.
and she's like, yeah, I'll go out.
Also, he's wearing a shirt like Cam from Modern Family.
And then, because he probably went, the gay guy's going to be fashionable, and he probably watches Modern Family, and that's what... And Danielle says, for the first time in a long time, I'm excited about what the future holds.
Let's go to Night, Penny.
Let's go to Night. And they go to bed.
And she had the most restful sleep that she'd had in years. And she woke up feeling good about herself, which, how long has it been since Danielle had that? I'm so happy for her. I can't even tell you.
Exquisitely happy for her.
Let's talk about someone who's going to ruin it all.
You wouldn't like this? Yeah. But you know who I wanted to watch? I would have loved to have been with the 3 Della Reese angels, or as you call them, the Murder Sisters. Murder Sisters, to see their reaction when they watched
Well, it probably wouldn't have done anything for them because they wouldn't have been able to caught her in the act of having sex. So they wouldn't have been able to decapitate her.
Maybe they're planning their trip to Sandusky.
Oh, yeah. They got to get the idiot blood.
Y'all, apparently that new Tom Arnold show that everybody keeps talking about.
People are coming at me about saying that to people tell me I would like it.
I want to watch a Queen of Meth, but it takes place in Sandusky.
Oh, of course it does. Let's talk about someone who's going to destroy our happiness. And that's Molly.
I'm interested what you're going to say about this because I feel like I'm going to have a different take than you on this.
Okay. Is this your kid?
Yeah, is
this
your kid?
Your baby?
They're cleaning off the porch. She says, he tells me it's not his kid, and I have to believe him. It's not his kid.
We're gonna go out and get the trash off the deck.
Trash off the deck.
And she's saying things like, "Are you going to be able to make lunches and take the kids to school?" After he says, "Sit there and look pretty," which I love to hear personally, especially when someone's going to do work for me.
And by work, he means
maybe I sit there and file my nails. Mm-hmm. So
y'all, Poodle calls for a plumber. It's not about plumbing.
So I wrote down. He says, this is what she says, I'm sorry. The problem with not having kids, will that be good enough for him? So she's already made the decision in her heart that she wants no more children.
Yes.
So, however, she decides to take this tactic, which she has not told him before. She says, I need to tell him why I can't have children. Not why I can't have children, not why I don't want to have children, which is very, very, very different.
That's what I wrote. And I was going to ask you, ask Poodle, Has she ever said, I couldn't remember, has she said, I don't want to have more
She
kids
said
than
it
him?
before, but it's always been kind of not qualified. And she did say, I got to tell Kelly something. He's not going to want to hear it. But she says her tubes are tied, which they did on her second pregnancy.
She said she didn't think her husband was going to leave her or she wouldn't have done it, but he did.
And that kind of doublespeak sounds like when someone says, well, I wouldn't have done it if I would have known my husband was going to leave her. And so if I was Kelly, I'd say, so that means you want to get your tubes reversed?
It seems like, so you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like that where, because Kelly says, she kind of finally has to come through later, but she basically says like, he says, I would like kids no matter what. I will love your kids, but your kids have dads.
Yeah.
I would like to have a kid with my dad. And then he also said, which is really sweet, I see the way you are with your kids. I want my kids to have you as a mother. Like, you're a wonderful mother. And Kelly talks about he grew up always wanting a family. I don't know if that means he didn't have much of one as a kid.
Yeah.
He doesn't say. But that's why he said, it was so sweet when he said Molly is a true mother. I thought that was very...
I really believe he loves her.
Oh.
I believe he loves her.
You know what?
And I believe she loves him.
I actually love about this relationship is that a lot of these people, why they don't work out is because somebody's lying, someone's cheating, someone's really fucked up, they're a horrible person. I think this is two decent people who really love each other, who do, but also want two different goals and things in life.
Because you know what? Sometimes love ain't enough.
And sometimes love ain't enough. And it's this.
That's a song.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Sometimes love ain't enough.
I don't know.
I don't want to leave you.
Yes.
We've sang this song before. It's her. It's Patty and Don Henley.
That's it.
So
thank you for silencing me, though. I appreciate that. Did you hear the acrimony with what he says? We've sung this before.
I just said what you said to me.
Moving on. Somehow when you do it, it's even meaner. I'll just sit over here and eat wet cigarette butts like I normally do.
It's true. Just eat it. But anyway, I love that I even messaged Molly. I was like, this is so great for people to see. Because I think that a lot of women, honestly, don't finally... I think a lot of women get talked into having kids when they don't want to have kids.
I just wish that because she thinks she's going to lose him. So, and part of her will say anything to avoid losing him.
I think that's why she won't come out and just say to his face, although she says, I'm sorry, to his face, I don't want kids, but she says in a testimonial, because she keeps going on about it, she says, he's not hearing me. And I do agree with her. I think he is not... Well, he's looking for a chance, but he's also not hearing what she's saying.
I agree with you, but if she, from the very beginning, said things like, the thing is, they've been talking all this time. The fact that she hasn't told him she had her tubes tied is, to me, would be something that was unforgivable to me.
As soon as someone said to me, even an off chance, oh, and I want to have kids one day, even if we've been dating.
My tubes are tied.
Yeah, I know it's about her body, so her choice. She can talk about her body whenever she wants.
But that is a foundational principle.
But if we were on a fucking third date and they said, I want to have kids one day, I would say, oh, I don't. My tubes are tied.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to pay this for Dutch? Yeah, great. I'll get my half. Have a nice life.
And if the other person came back, what about the reversal? I'm not interested in that. Because here's the thing. It's not that she doesn't want to have kids. Or sorry, it's not that she can have kids and she's worried about it. She doesn't want them.
I think if
she does, she needs to scream it from the rooftops.
I think even if he had a kid with like a surrogate and a different egg donor,
she doesn't want it.
And that somebody else carried the baby, she doesn't want it.
She said, I don't want to be taking care of a baby until they're 20.
She did say that to him. She said, I don't want to be, she said to Kelly, I don't want to be 65 years old. And that's when he said, but I'll do it.
Exactly.
I'll do it. Which is a really gross underestimation of somebody not knowing the full extent of being a parent.
I want to flip this back on you and say, Mark and Nikki, same thing.
What do you mean, Mark?
Mark and Nikki. She wanted to have a baby. He said, no, it's not in the plan.
It's true. Yeah.
So, and we were completely with her.
Yes. But for Mark and Nikki, that was it's different because it's very different because they both come. Molly and Kelly come from the same cult, from the same country.
Yes, there is a different power dynamic.
Different power dynamic.
Yes, I agree.
Different expectations of what it is to have children, what is not.
Right.
I don't know what that is for people in the Philippines.
However, is it unfair for Molly to say, you know what? We've been together this long. You just need to. You're going to have to be with me and not have any children.
No, I think Molly should have been up front.
Right.
At the beginning. But I agree, though, is that, and maybe this has happened more, I agree with her when she said Kelly is not hearing her.
I agree with that, too.
So I think it's both. But you and I feel for Molly because, I feel for both of them. Because Molly was too scared to tell him the truth at the beginning because she felt unlovable. And she thought, I don't want to, because what have the first 3 or 4 episodes all been? I can't trust him. I don't know if I can trust him. Am I enough? How many times has Molly said, am I enough for him? Seriously, think about that. How many times has she said that?
I agree, but
that's not something we should ask ourselves.
But for something like
she said it this episode,
and she knew that he wanted children. She knew this.
She knew,
and I just think this is such a disservice.
It is leading him on. Yeah, it is.
And if someone had, I don't necessarily want to have children the way that Kelly does, but if someone had done that to me, I would have said, well, that's 2 months or 3 months of my life that I'll never get back.
I would feel like that too.
Yeah. And I understand it's because Molly is really hurt, but what's hurt in one hand, have a baby in the other, what gets full first?
Yeah, but I go back and I wonder, did she say anything like that to him?
She hadn't told him her tubes were tied.
No, I know, but as far as her tubes, it is pretty shocking to me. It's not until they're in the car on the way to the airport where Kelly finally gets she doesn't want to have a kid.
Yep.
I can't believe
they're together. That we saw them a little bit of them on the tell-all.
Well, I think they genuinely love one another, but I totally agree with you about she let him on. She should have. But
I think that was such a betrayal.
But aren't you also shocked that it's taken Kelly this long to read the sign? I'm just kind of like, it's been there if you see it, but it's that idea of we see what we want to see.
I agree, but I would.
We did that in show choir. They see what they want to say, play how they want to play, do what they want.
Family.
The Addams Family. That was like our kind of. We called it our urban dance number.
No, we're not talking about this.
That's what we did in our show choir. It was a lot of this kind of shoulder pop movement, like see what they want to say, play what they want to play. It was great. We went to Dixon High School, and they stood up and applauded. And by they, 5 people.
Yeah, there we go. But I want to talk. Would you, if you were Kelly in this situation?
I'd never trust her.
Yeah,
I would never trust her because I would feel that
it's me too.
Always. It's interesting. Molly's been so concerned about when is the ball going to drop and I can't trust you. And that's how I'd feel about being in a relationship with Molly.
And
because when you're together for 2 months they've been together
a little longer than that. But I think
traveling.
I think it's for her. It is about keeping this guy out of complete desperation
because they've had sex.
Yes,
she
will do anything. But to keep him.
But if they used a condom, if not, I know Molly is very sex positive. Surely they talked about. I would have talked about before I had if a straight man I'm having sex with a woman.
Well,
but like, hey. Do I need to wear a condom, or are you on the pill? Like
none of that was talked about.
Because to me, that's when she could say, "My tubes are tied."
That would have been a great time to have that conversation.
Because we know they've had sex often,
right?
And so you never talked about it. It's a lot to hide from someone. It's a lot.
I agree. And even at 45, yes, women can get pregnant at 45, but it's a lot harder than
it is harder.
25 or 35.
And it doesn't matter how hard it is. Molly doesn't want to put her body through that.
That's the thing.
And that's what I want her to say. And she still never has said, I do not want kids ever. And I wonder what Kelly feels like watching Molly say that in the testimonials.
Well, she said it a lot in the confessionals, but
never to him.
When he was around her, and I bet you $100 she never said anything like that. She would just hint around it. Now, he could have listened to that, but I want to just offer one view. Mm-hmm. If your view is to have children with someone, and that's your dream, are you really going to see all the signs? We see like you said, we see what we want to see.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree with you. I don't think Kelly did at all. He had the blinders on, baby blinders.
When they were in the car, I was like, this is over.
It was heartbreaking.
This is doomed.
It was heartbreaking. And again, for both of them, they both seem like decent people who really love each other. But like you said, that's just not.
Sometimes love ain't enough.
Anyway.
Sorry, I can't sing that because we already did it, apparently. Let's move on to the bright spot of this. Not really. But surprisingly, someone hold on, that I'm actually rooting for. Some bile coming up.
Uh-oh.
Adjusting my glasses. Y'all, Colt's in Big Bear, and he's got the ring. He's asking Vanessa, are you happy? We have problems, right?
We have problems,
Nothing will be perfect.
Nothing's going to be perfect.
But I just know I can't imagine my life without you. Everything that Colt says is kind of in this really offhanded way.
Hey,
like you're trying to talking about it. So
you look nice. Glasses.
Used car.
Hey, yeah. And so, what do you think about marrying me, kid?
Yeah.
Here you go. You say, what you want to marry me, kid?
Here you go.
Oh, boss. Really? Look at this ring. Oh, really, Mr. J?
So she says, what the fuck are you doing? Gets down on one knee.
Vanessa starts dropping. Apparently, when Vanessa's emotional,
she's Andrew Dice Clay.
Hey, what the fuck? Fucking you fucking marry me. Holy fuck this ring.
Motherfucking Christ.
Fuck. She is Andrew Dice Clay.
As soon as Vanessa, she needed to get on the single life so she can swear. She can say fuck 1,000 times. Like, I love that word, but Vanessa, pick and choose, honey.
Even later on when she said,
I'm just seeing her with like Andrew Dice Clay chains around her neck and like a leather jacket. It's like, what the fuck are you looking at, fucker?
Remember when Andrew Dice Clay was scandalous? I mean, just scandalous to people.
That was like late 80s, early 90s, wasn't it? Yeah,
early 90s.
Yeah.
We were old enough to know what he was saying.
Yeah. Wow. Different time.
Yeah.
I think we've said a lot worse than Andrew Dice Clay said.
Yes. For sure.
I think I talked about gurgling jizz at one point yesterday's show.
That's why this is not a kids show, y'all.
So Vanessa says that she's like, I don't feel like I'm ready to get married. We have problems, still have concerns, but she's like, would you be willing to wait a year and
be engaged for a year?
Also, which I think is a great idea. I think you should be engaged for at least a year. Minimum.
A lot of people have a thing, especially, I can't believe you're saying that from the South, because in the South, it's bad luck to have a long engagement.
I'm totally for it.
But that's a thing, though.
I know.
With a lot of people.
I know.
So, over years, supposed to be, and honestly, it can take a while to plan a wedding. I'm all for long engagements, too. I'm not for an engagement to say, so let's get married.
To see if you fuck around.
We'll see if you fuck around.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not the best.
Yeah. So, but she does say yes. And I wrote, I'm happy for them. What's wrong with me? We do say that the ring is, as he says, more Biggie than Larissa's.
More Biggie. And she's like, she brings it up. She says, yes. And then she's like, even when they show the ring, she's like, I mean, fuck! Look at this ring! Fuck!
Fuck, this is a fucking rock on my fucking hand.
Fuck me! Fuckity fuck!
You
Whoa.
fucking fuck.
Fuckity fuck! That's the show, y'all.
Motherfucking fucking shit.
But, y'all... I can't even imagine what Vanessa sounds like when she's in bed. It's just fuck.
Fuck yeah! Fuck
She
yeah!
probably just goes fuck. Anyway, yo, that's the show.
That's the show.
That's
the show.
You can go to realitygatespodcast.com to see all of our other shiznit and shows that we're doing. Don't forget to check out Extreme Sisters. We've got don't forget class. We're going to be dropping at the end of this. When is this? This is a single life. When is this dropping?
Maybe Friday.
I think by yes, y'all. This week we're going to drop our classic on our Patreon. We're covering season 1 of Hey,
And that'll come out on Thursday.
and so that's going to come out. We're doing that because some of you have been like, "Which season was that?" and we
Season
thought
1.
this will be good. Instead, it's Russ and Powell. It's Brett and Daya. It's Kyle and Noon.
Kyle and Noon.
Kyle and
Oh.
Noon. Love them. It's also Danielle and Mohammed.
Yeah. No fun there.
And we just met Louisa. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, Florida. But anyway, we're going to put that first episode for y'all to reminisce. You see, if you're interested in the $5 tier on the Gatreon or the Super Sissy, you can do that. It's all in the show links, show notes of the show. We call these people Lonely Hearts, Poodle, because aren't we all just lonely hearts?
Yes. And if you need to get fucked in the fucking fuck hole,
Fuck! Fuck us!
fucking call us.